Hey, what's going on? I'm Katie Daryl, and this is the Hard Rock Cafe, and you're watching True Music. Today's show has 3 great acts. I know I always say that, but today I really, really mean it. We have a band called Jive on the show. They actually were on tour with David Lee Roth, but got kicked off the tour, and we'll find out why. Also on the show, I have Alien Ant Farm, a band whose butt I want to kick. And we'll find out more about that in a little bit as well. First up right now, though, I have a group called Red Tape Poetry. These guys go way back with me. They used to stalk me when I was a radio DJ. That's before I went big time here at HDNET. Here's Red Tape Poetry. You guys were voted the best new artist and band of Dallas by the rock station here in town. What was that like?
The Eagle.
Unexpected or?
Yeah, because like we were up against the Burden Brothers.
Wow.
And it's kind of like, well, how do you expect to beat those guys out?
Yeah.
And we're all standing down in the crowd, and they're announcing, and the winner is, and we're like, no.
Wait a minute.
The Brothers are the lead singer used to be in the Toadies.
Right.
So that's why we were really, really surprised that we won. It's like, okay, we've been nominated for Best New Artist, and we were also nominated for our Rock Album of the Year.
Yeah, against
But
like Edgewater.
We saw who we were going up against, so we were like, okay, it's cool just to be nominated, the typical loser thing, you know? It's like, all right, cool. But,
Well, how did you go about getting such a good fanfare and relationship with the radio stations? Because it's hard for a local band to stand out and actually get radio play without getting signed. And you guys not only have been played on the alternative station, but also the rock station.
I think a lot of it has to do with just we're really driven. I mean, we put out a full-length album less than 6 months after even just being together as a band. And so I think that had a lot to do with it. And just, we were down here every weekend promoting and building, relationships with the right people, and just people like, hey, come out, give us a chance, shameless promotion.
You might think I'm crazy, and I don't give a damn. All alone I'm standing where the ocean meets the land. And you played around with my heart.
What is the full story of the DJ that got fired for
Lynn Hernandez.
Lynn Hernandez?
He now does traffic for a couple of stations.
Yeah, he got fired because I guess he.
Well,
he
we took
played
him
you
out
guys.
one night and got him drunk and talked him into playing us on the radio and having us in for interviews, and he didn't get permission, so he got in a little bit of trouble.
Well, actually, we kind of went about it. We talked him into doing something. It was a Saturday afternoon, midday, which would have been a pretty good time. And I was like, hey, let me come in and we'll give away some free CDs and free passes to the show tonight. And he was like, all right, man, let's do it. So we go in. He plays 90 seconds or a little more of one of our songs, Morning News, I think.
Yeah.
And we take callers and everything was great. And then the next
Good
day he's
radio.
like, right, good radio, good times had by all. And so the next day he's like, yeah, so I lost my job. They said I was overzealous. And he's like, you're just doing what you thought was right, I think you should be a program director.
But unfortunately, he wasn't at the time.
What if you be the answer to my never-ending quest? I would be the ending to everything you had left. But if you be the ending to my not-tried-out regrets, so I said goodbye.
On your website, you guys talk about how you're all business-minded. Do you think that that's going to be a drawback in the long run? Because this might be a question more for your management, but a lot of managers don't
You're talking to it.
Managers don't like to deal with artists that think that they're getting too much of their hand in business. They want some sort of involvement, but everyone, your job is to be the artist, go out there, play, make good songs. Manager's job is to do the business, and when you're all business-minded.
Well, that's how a lot of bands get really raw deals and get, shafted in the end, really. If a band goes into it, doesn't know what to expect, and know how the business side of music works, then it's just asking for trouble.
But isn't there a point where you know what you're getting into, and then once you're into it, you say, I trust you, and now you do the business,
Sure.
and we do the music?
Sure. Once you get so far,
Well, and the other
you
thing,
have to trust your management at one point.
Come on. Yeah, well, it's okay to walk away. It's okay to live another day. I don't think I'll ever be the same. Well, I'll never be the
you is a Barry Manilow fan. Yeah, hi.
That'd be me.
How come you admit to that?
He writes the songs. Barry's the man. I grew up listening to Barry Manilow. Me and my dad and my mom split up when I was really, really little. And every time I'd see my dad or go visit my dad, he'd always sing Barry Manilow tunes, like when I was going to sleep or whatever. So it just stuck.
1, 2, 3, 4. There's a track losing time. I think I might just lose my mind. Get a feeling that's comforting. One feeling that'll never leave me. In a crazy, crazy world, no one knows which way to go. That's when I step in. Close your eyes and sing it with me. Won't you come and ride with me in my little green soapbox machine? Yeah, we can drive our troubles far away and say the things that we wanna say. Be whatever we wanna be in my little green soapbox machine. Laughing and having fun. When that times line up like a sun, I'm sure you can think of it too. A time that would have been special for you. So when your day has gone quite wrong, nothing's in the feeling, this ain't from the song. Just lay back, close your eyes, take a deep breath. Come on, let's ride it. Won't you come and ride with me in my little green soapbox machine? Yeah, we can try our troubles far away. Say the things that we want to say. Be whatever we wanna be in my little green soapbox machine. Won't you come and ride with me in my little green soapbox machine? Yeah, we can drive our troubles far away and say the things we wanna say. We can be whatever we wanna be in my little green soapbox machine. I say soapbox machine.
Here's an update on Red Tape Poetry. Since we interviewed them, the lead singer got in a wicked bad car accident. He actually was in like gridlock traffic, and a car slammed into the rear end of him at 60, 70 miles per hour, pushing his face like into the steering wheel, and he had to go through, surgery and whatnot. Had to cancel several shows, but he is in recovery, doing well, and they are back on tour again. Still to come on the show, I have another band who's been in a crazy accident, Alien Ant Farm and Jibe.